delighted to have the best borough president that any borough could have, and that's the truth. Marty Martin. Thanks. And also a good friend. We work together at so many different things. Councilman Lufin. Approximately 6 weeks ago, on a Friday, we had people from the organization called McKeemy. This is an organization that deals with those, sadly, who have cancer, who are facing difficulties, especially children. And the head of the organization came to me, came to the office with a father and his son. The son had gone through a very difficult year. He was literally on his, on respirators. He was in a in a situation where it wasn't sure, it wasn't clear that he would make it. A very difficult year. The end result of the sickness that this boy had, was that his legs were amputated. Yeah, just wondering. And the boy was sitting in my office, such a sweet, sweet boy. You'll meet him in a few minutes. We're going to bring him out here for a couple of minutes, but we don't want to keep him out long. And they came to me basically to ask me, is there some way, it's a family of 9, including the child, the 12-year-old, is there any way that we could get a handicap accessible vehicle for the family? You know, people come and ask for things. And I said, I listened, and I'm one who believes that, you know, with God's help, you can do anything in the world. It can be complicated, and it can be very, very easy. And I listened. I said, you know, maybe down the line we'll be able to get some capital money, this, that, next year. Who knows? We don't know. But you know something? The following Monday, and I got to tell you, this is one of the stories I'll never forget in my entire career, what happened here. We went to a very wonderful, 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 wonderful person. And we did that. And I got to tell you, it was one of the most remarkable things that when we went and we asked, what's his name? Who did we ask? John Giuffre. He is the hero of this entire story. John Giuffre, sitting there, didn't say, let me think about it. You know, call me back next week. He said, send me the information today, not tomorrow. I want everything about the child, about the family, what the needs are, and so on and so forth. And amazingly, Toyota, Manhattan, Brooklyn, but John Giuffre, who's not even here, because that's the kind of guy he is. 6 weeks later, I mean, it just doesn't happen that fast. What a remarkable story during the holiday season. This is an example of what people can do for other people. This is an example of what you can make happen. You know, we can't solve the problem of the family, but we can sure make them smile. We can sure make things a little better or a lot better. And now we have this. This is amazing. I got to tell you, I thought there was going to be a ramp. You'd have to push the wheelchair in and lock it down. And instead, I came here this morning and I see this amazing. You just sit down and you press a button and you're in the vehicle. It's just absolutely astounding. And this is to all New York and to all the world. You can make a difference in someone's life. It doesn't always have to be a vehicle for $50,000 or so, but you can make a difference in a person's life, whether it's your next door neighbor, even smiling, even being friendly, even trying to be there. So this young man sitting in my office a couple of weeks ago, like I said, it's amazing. 6 weeks ago, with a big smile on his face, he's a sweetheart. I told him it's not his father's vehicle, it's his vehicle. Alter, it's yours. It belongs to you. Okay? But remarkable, remarkable story. Let me introduce to you first Rabbi Dr. Aaron Tversky, who is one of the leaders of McKeemy.
As far as Toyota is concerned, I have no words. I'm a Toyota customer tell you that this van is going to be trouble-free, because I've been driving Toyota for years. I've never had a day's worth of trouble with it. But the magnanimous nature of this act, the fact that they acted on it immediately, says so much about the people from Baybridge Toyota, and I assume from the whole Toyota organization. We owe them a debt of gratitude without limitation. The benefit of help that everyone who participated in this mitzvah be blessed with good health, long life, and that the family see a great deal of nachas in Alter as he grows and matures into a wonderful young man.
Chesky Kufchild, Chairman of the Board of McKean.
On behalf of the board, the members, the volunteers, and the patients of McKean, on behalf of the entire Michigan Yecheskel, the entire community, and of course the Pinter family, I'd like to take this opportunity to express our profound admiration, appreciation, and gratitude to our most passionate, most powerful, and most successful advocate, Assemblyman Dov Hikind. A profound thank you to the people of Toyota, which, as Dov had mentioned, the actual manager, John Geoffrey, is not even here with us today. This is an amazing display of community service by the people at Toyota. We have with us today Mike Ainelli. This is really a tremendous display of camaraderie. I'd like to give you a blessing for all your kindness and generosity. May all the people that are involved in this have only health, wealth, prosperity, and joy in their lives. I'd like to encourage the community to respond in kind. They've actually really stepped to the plate with a wonderful, wonderful automobile. If you go down the streets of Barabat, you see loads of Toyotas there anyhow, but this is just something tremendous. It makes me think very much about the next time I'm buying an automobile, and we all should do the same. So thank you very much to all here. And let's
Finally, as I said, Mike is a good friend, and he's representing John. You know, it says in Ethics of the Fathers, called Pirkei Avos, that we can learn from everybody. And boy, is that true in this particular case. We're talking about John Geoffrey, not Rabinowitz, not Markowitz, nothing like that, who stepped to the plate in a way that is an example to me as a Jew of something so incredible, not just doing. It's not just doing, it's the way you do, the way you give. And I spoke to John yesterday, and I knew I would not be successful, and I'm pretty persuasive when I want to be. I called him and I said, listen, I said, I beg you, please. I knew he wasn't going to come. I knew he was going to say no. I said, please, you're the man who made this happen. You're the inspiration. And let me tell you what he said. I wrote down the words, but I lost them, but it was something about God, being grateful to God for what God has given him. It was just an amazing thing. He says, I'm not interested in anything. I just want to be able to do something good, and I am grateful to God that he has been so good to me. And the result of that, all that he has, he recognizes that it comes from someplace. It comes from up there. And the result is this amazing vehicle. You know, when this is over today, we go, you know, we'll talk about it for a day or two, but this is a real thing. Believe me, this is as close as you can get to John Geoffrey. John Geoffrey is an amazing individual. I wish he was here because he'd light up the whole place even more. But we can have him pretty close. Great guy, very special, is Mike Ainelli.
Since I walked in, everybody's saying thank you to me. And it's nice to hear that, but the person who needs to be thanked is John, and it's nice to see that everybody is making such a big deal about it. That's exactly what he doesn't like. John deals from his heart, not for a headline, not for a photo, and definitely not for his name on the side of a vehicle. But this really meant something to him. We had a brief meeting this morning, and it was all about, remember why we did this. It's not for publicity. I don't want my name in the papers, and I don't want the whole fanfare. But I guess he really does deserve it. He asked me to thank Dov Hikind and Borough President Markowitz, and especially Hikind, putting a day like this together. It's really wonderful, especially this time of year, to see everybody come together for a child and a family that really could use our help. And it's just a pleasure to be part of it. Thank you very much.
So the message to everyone is, do something for your neighbor. Do something for your neighbor, especially during this period of the year in December with the different holidays, but it applies for all 12 years. From a smile to a helping hand to whatever it is, that's what the message is. This is a huge message, but we can all do it in our own way. Thank you very much, everybody.